Well, hello everybody. Good morning. It is 5:45 where I am in the mountains, and well, we're gonna do SPFBO launch party right now. I'm here with very special guests, both Tori of Tori Talks, and Michael Roberti, both authors and also entering. And it looks like we already have 10 people in the chat. Say hello, everybody. And yeah, basically for the next 15 minutes, we can chat a little bit. I'm going to double check everybody has everything they need, and then we can submit at the top of the hour. I did put the link to Mark Lawrence's blog in the description, so have that up, and we'll probably all be hitting refresh at the same time and crashing his website while we watch for it to go live. There is a dummy version of the sign up sheet on his blog as well if you are wondering what he needs. But pretty much what you're going to need to make sure you have right now is your EPUB file. EPUB specifically, because Kindle's no longer taking the file they were for a while, the Mobi. So just the EPUB file. And then also let me see if I can get it in louder. I'm also talking very quietly right now, so.
Yeah, I have sleeping children right on the other side of this wall, so I'm trying not to yell. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
I can hear you great.
I got all of my family out of the house, so I'm pretty lonely here, but also I can be as loud as I want.
Nice.
You guys keep chatting. I'll be right back. I'm going to switch gears.
Okay.
Sounds good. Cool. How are you guys doing this morning? So out of everybody in the chat, who's submitting this morning?
Is that a stronger voice?
Mm-hmm.
That'll have to do. All right. So you need to have your Mobi file. You need to have your cover, probably in JPEGs. It really doesn't matter at this point, but JPEG's best probably because like Amazon only accepts it, and it'll go cleaner on a lot of websites. But make sure it's a high enough DPI that that the blog itself can use it for their files for putting up on their blog posts. If you want to go ahead and pull up your Goodreads link to your book and your Amazon link, your ASIN specifically. So get it as easy as possible. So pare it down to the www.amazon.com/DP, like dog parrot, / and then just your ASIN, which will be like a letter B, 0B string. That will make sure that it's the cleanest link for them to use, because they're going to be using that to create, like especially in Goodreads, they'll be doing a lot of a couple of the judges will put together like a list by blog of all 300 applicants, right? Other than that, everything else is just going to be a quick questionnaire. Who are you? Did you use AI? Did you use any AI art in your in your cover? Because then it won't be eligible for the cover contest. But the thing is that the cover contest is mostly about showcasing the artists, right? And that's what we want to do, is promote cover artists, so that people who maybe have entered and don't have the cover they really want can start looking for new artists too. That's great, because really this is a community event. This is a chance for all of us to show off our books and get a chance to meet each other too. So, all right. So people we have in the chat. Looks like Derek's here. Let me go to the top. All right. John Morrow joined us. He's a new judge. Yeah.
Andrew, you mentioned when you were going through the list earlier, you mentioned Mobi accidentally, I think. So just reaffirming that it is an EPUB file, not Mobi.
Okay.
Cool. Just EPUB. Moby is no longer accepted on Kindle. They finally upped their game, and it's just EPUBs. They're not over confusing things. So yeah, just your EPUB. Have that pulled down so you can drop that into your obviously make sure you're logged into Google, because it's a Google file, and we can make sure that right.
So
okay, Thiago. Here we go.
Here. So HC, if you, I'm not sure if I can post this. Hey, Thiago. Let's see. I don't think there's any way I can post it in the chat. Andrew might be able to. Just an example of the Amazon link.
One.
Mm-hmm.
Because HC, if you look at your Amazon URL for your book, it's going to have like the name of the book and a bunch of other stuff in it. And you can pare that down to just amazon.com/DP/ and then there's like a short number.
Mm-hmm. Whoops, that's weird.
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally did not sleep this night, and I just woke up because I was taking care of the kids. So
No.
but I'm here. I listened to the book that wouldn't burn literally all night while I had the kids, and my mind is blown. This is a Christopher Nolan movie made into a novel. That's the kind of experience you're gonna get with this. I know I'm hyperbolic about Mark Lawrence, but I am serious about this. You guys need to read this book. It is. I literally just finished, so I'm still kind of like shell shocked at the ending, because it is the same experience that you get, from the good Christopher Nolan movies. It is absolutely mind blowing. Y'all need to read this. I'm serious. I'm not being hyperbolic because I love Mark Lawrence. This is wow. I mean, it's honestly my favorite book ever. This is about Mark Lawrence, Anita, because he started the competition. So it is about Mark Lawrence. Everything is about Mark Lawrence. You just need to find that out.
All right. So we have in the chat, like I said, we have John Morrow, who is a judge this year. So like he says later, don't say anything incriminating about yourself, authors. Sparrow's here. HC, thank you for coming. Rebecca Clark, Stephen Hanna, Steve Westenra, Catherine Graham, thank you for coming. She was actually my copy editor, my proofreader and copy editor for Death Plus Beast. Let's see, Derek's here. Let's see, make sure JCM is here. He says good luck. He's not entering this year, unfortunately. He's still working on getting his book published, but he will be here for SPFBO X, because we're all pushing to make sure it's called X, because of course it's called X, right?
Sure.
Kelsey Carter.
I heard that SPFBO X would just be, there would be no like Mark wouldn't open it for new people to I'm sorry, I just woke up. My mind is like sluggish. It would just be like all the finalists battling it out from all the previous years.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That is not official.
Well, I mean, maybe they do a separate secondary contest too. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I mean, it can have its issues because I don't know if all the finalists would be happy to do that, but anyway, whatever. I'm gonna get.
And we got some really great T-shirts made too, of like a box with Spiffy awesomeness coming out, Spaceman Spiff.
Well, since Dr. Morrow's here, I just wanted to take the opportunity to say how much I love glass, and I hope that's taken into account if he gets my book. I was thinking about doing a glass version of the book, but unfortunately, I have limited resources.
Yeah.
Special edition.
Pull out a diamond stylus and just do it yourself. Write it by hand.
Yeah.
The movie Glass, unfortunately, is pretty bad, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
in all other aspects, yeah.
So, what are you all submitting?
I'm not.
I was gonna say, what are you submitting, Chiago?
I mean, I'm not. I can't even come up with something. Just you are seeing me at my literal worst right now. So
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen you, so it can only go from here.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, people in the comments, I'm super interested, as everyone else I think here is, of what you're submitting, because it's like one of the coolest days in the competition is when you see the list of everything that people submitted and with which blogs they're at, and it's just, for everyone who's submitting, savor that moment, because it's super cool. It's like, I don't know, it's like, when you're like starting out and you have all that hope in front of you, and you know you can dream. So it's pretty cool. Savor this moment, and it is a little nerve-wracking, but just, it's cool.
And get to know each other online.
Yeah.
SPFBO is such a huge opportunity to get involved in the community. Whether we're all following each other on Twitter, Instagram, or getting involved on various Discords. There is a Discord link that I'll probably get it. Message me, and we'll get you into Discord for the entrance. And it's kind of, if you've never been on Discord at all, it's a great entry point, and from there you're going to discover all these other Discords until you're suddenly in 20 different Discords. But meeting each other is one of the highlights of SPFBO, and getting involved and being just being involved in it. Because if you're not, when the contest's over, we don't want you to disappear. So get involved in the community as soon as you can.
Joe's right. You have nothing to lose except your mental health and self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that happens as soon as you publish on Amazon too. So
Right.
I'm gonna grab some coffee. But
yep.
I mean, we kind of met through. I mean, we had chatted once or twice, but we became friends through SPFBO. So you can tell the story better than me, I think, Andrew, if you want to.
Well, I always equate it to like in kindergarten, when you're on the playground and you're leaning against a tree, no one to play with, and there's another person there, and you look at each other and go, "Hey, want to be best friends?" And they go, "Sure, let's be best friends." That was me and Chiago. Whereas we were both on the Discord, and we're like, "Hey, you submitted a book. Hey, I submitted a book too. Want to be best friends?" And here we are. All right, guys. It looks like we're at 1 minute, as long as he has it scheduled, or unless he's pushing it by hand. So let's keep our eyes peeled.
That's the Blogspot, right? Or
that'll be his, correct.
Okay.
Yep. And it isn't just in his actual Blogspot. You're going to go to, like, if you click through his dummy page, there's a listing to a main page, and that'll bring you over to to the SPFBO9, his blog post.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I like that analogy that you made, Andrew. Kindergarten, kind of like, I was like the introvert leaning against the tree. You were probably just like running around,
Probably.
And then you were the one who kind of spotted me and said, "Hey,
it's live."
Okay,
Is it really?
Go ahead.
Yep. It says here.
Go.
So if you're in the chat, let's go.
I have a story while you guys fill out the form. So I actually woke up late last year, and because of time zones and all that, I almost didn't submit. I almost didn't get a spot. I got like one of the last maybe 30 spots or something.
Wow.
Because I missed my alarm. Yeah. So what should we talk about while everyone is filling out their forms? I don't know. Play music. What do you want me to play, Anita? I have a guitar. I can't play copyrighted music. Everything I know how to play is copyrighted music. So YouTube would probably do something with the stream. So I actually can't play music. Yeah. Look, Joe says he can talk. He's not entering. I can send him a link. Can I send him the link?
All right, I think mine's in. If the
Yeah, you can
submit
pull
goes
me.
through.
Yep, mine's in.
I'm in.
High five, Michael.
Woo. I'm gonna take a picture for this momentous occasion.
Right?
Yeah. I sent Joe a link because I'm all alone.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna gush about Mark Lawrence. So look, this is a 70 chapter book, right? It takes its time kind of like putting the pieces in place. It's exactly like a Christopher Nolan movie. It takes its time putting the pieces in place, but once you hit like around 60%, I think it's around like chapter 50, it's all payoff. Like for the entire like end of the book. It's all payoff.
I love the title.
Yeah. It's super cool.
I'm in.
Nice.
Oh, there's Joe.
I had a moment of panic because I realized that I have basically changed my author name over to Tori Tekken, but Faze still says Victoria Tekken. So I was like, what do I put for my author name? So
I'm interested to see.
Guys.
Yeah, congrats on submitting.
It's awesome.
See, Joe is a much politer person than I am. I'm here and I didn't say congratulations. He jumps on. The first thing he says is congratulations.
But in chat, first thing I did was gloom and doom, so I got to balance everything. Like, don't forget, you had nothing to lose but your soul. Crushed. Round into dust. I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
So, those panic moments are real, Tori. My audiobook was launched like a week after I submitted, I think. And I was like, hey, dude, if anyone wants the audiobook, if my blog wants the audiobook, but I mean, I didn't want to start, getting in touch with them or anything. So yeah, you're gonna second guess yourself on a ton of things, but just it's a lot less important than the importance you give it to make yourself stressed, I'd say. So just don't worry about it. Just have fun in the competition, make friends, and I know like a ton more cool people now because of the competition than I did, this time last year. So yeah, just have fun with it.
So Josh's hands are shaking.
I don't know that I ever typed faster in my life.
I mean, yeah, I think I submitted like 3 or 4 hours in last year, so like it just opened. I think you guys are good.
Probably.
But every year it's faster. Like the year before that, it was something like, I don't know, 24 hours, and then last year, no, I don't remember. I think last year was 6 hours or 8 hours or something.
It was
like
9 hours.
Yeah, 9 hours. 9 hours. And then the year before that, it had been something like almost 24, I think. I don't remember anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like exponentially, getting faster. So
way to go, Rebecca. Yeah, I didn't almost miss mine, but I also submitted like 2 hours late. I get up at 5 a.m. every morning, and at that time I was on Pacific time. It was a 5 a.m. Entry, only I read my hours wrong, and so around 7 o'clock I went over to fill it out, and It had been open for 2 hours. I'm like, oh no, and got it quickly put together, and it was I still had 7 hours, but it's still fear creating.
So
yeah.
Can I share something that was just posted in the Discord?
Yes.
Mark just posted in the Discord 121 submitted in the first 3 minutes.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
I tried explaining this contest to my wife last year, and I'm like, "Oh, I entered this really," and she's like, "Oh, what do you need to do to get in? Do you need to like go through some screening process, a slush pile?" I'm like, "You have to get up."
I am the slush pile.
Wake up in a span of time like a grown up, and like put your files in. That's it. She was much less impressed with me after that.
I can't remember who it was who asked me, but they asked, what should they time when they enter? Because they were thinking of it like an actual slush pile. Like, if you enter early, will you be one of the first people read? And I specified, no. You got like 5 minutes. Get in, because it's important to get in, because then it goes into a giant. So I guess we can kind of talk through kind of how it plays out from here. If you haven't been in SPFBO before, obviously there's 10 different blogs, right? They're all going to get a giant slush pile, and it gets separated. All 300 gets split by 10, so it'll be 30 books in every single blog. And we'll probably by the end of the day see the whole list of who's in what blog. There's always a little bit of back and forth while Mark Lawrence and his team are double checking, like, is this book too short if it's less than 40,000 words, and is it fantasy, and so on and so forth. And then they sort it by all 10 blogs, and then those blogs, they do their own thing. Every single blog is different. From some of them are a single person reading all 30 books, like Becky. Others are giant teams. Other ones are blog groups, and they'll kind of morph as they go along who's reading the books. They will start reading theoretically June 1st and not before that. It's questionable whether they start earlier than that, but they won't start posting anything of whether they're cutting anybody until after June 1st. They will, over the course, till November 15th, I think, might be November 1st. They will, by November 1st, choose a finalist. And then after that, we enter phase 2, which goes through the end of the competition, which just ended, so May. Or April 30th is when it's announced. And all 10 blogs review all 10 finalists. But right now we're in phase 1. And this is in my opinion, and probably all of our opinion, the most stressful part of the entire competition, because we're all waiting for our books to get reviewed. And it could be June 15th. It could be October 15th. Who knows? But during that time, we all get to hype each other. What's up, Joe?
Don't forget how much fun you have trying to read clues in snippets of information that don't actually mean anything. So someone will say, "Oh, they liked your book, so they're putting the review till later in the window," and you're like, "Wait, does that mean if I got reviewed first, that's a cut? And if I'm being reviewed later, I'm in the running for a semifinalist spot? I don't know." People will tell you, and then someone else will message you on Discord, "Don't say anything, but I heard it's the opposite of what you thought," and you can tear your hair out for several months. It's really fun. An exciting process. And
that was Andrew and I every day until we had our reviews. We had spreadsheets. We had spreadsheets for every blog.
And I have bigger spreadsheets this year too.
And every review that came in, we had like everything mapped out, and the scores, like, oh, they like this kind of book, so maybe they'll like your book. Oh, they like this kind of book, so maybe it was insane. It was insane.
Do all the blogs pick finalists in SPFBO? I can't remember. I think they do, but I'm not sure.
So they do. The rules specify they don't have to pick a single semifinalist. They don't have to do. They don't even have to do reviews. They just have to announce a finalist. They can show up on October 31st with a finalist. Now, by tradition, and we're in 9 years of tradition now, every single blog picks semifinalists and reviews as they go. So they will do semifinalists. What does a semifinalist mean? It means that there's going to be a graphic you will be able to access and put all over everything you do to say, I'm a semifinalist. The clout that it holds is the clout that everybody grants it. It's like cash, right? It doesn't mean anything. It's just an economic scorecard. So I will say one thing you do want to do. So like there's an encouragement for you to obviously not to bug your judge, right? Don't be bugging your judges. You're probably going to start following them on Goodreads.
It is my
What's
advice. Don't even talk to your judge unless
but
like
you can get
they reach
involved
out to
with
you.
people on Twitter. So like middle of July started interacting with people from my blog via other people's posts, just to be a presence. That's not, hey, dream a book yet? Hey, dream a book yet? No. You're gonna make enemies real fast doing that.
That's in the rules actually. It says you cannot reach out to your blog
exactly
in any way.
Exactly. But don't go radio silent on Twitter because your blog is in a Twitter conversation with other authors. Now is your chance to just be a normal human being on Twitter with other people, and don't be a normal Twitter user. Just be a good human being. And
I was going to start getting really
this expression when you said be a normal human being on Twitter. So,
I was just going to get really political all of a sudden and start talking about the election.
Yeah. But the thing is this is a business. It's really stressful and it's really personal for us as authors, but it is a business, and being in a business is interacting with people on a regular basis. And
can I just share some breaking news? 229 entrants in 9 minutes.
I told you it's not going to be 9 hours this year.
This might go in like half an hour.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of terrified of next year, to be perfectly honest. It's going to be nuts.
It's almost unfair if it gets to the point where you've got to like refresh the screen and there's luck involved and like 500 people are trying in the first 2 minutes. At that point, I wonder if it's time to try to figure out a different system. I don't know. I don't know what that would be.
Like more judges and more entrants, maybe.
With 9 hours, if you were serious about it last year, you could get in, right? I mean, I'm sure there are people who missed the window because of no fault of their own, but like if the window turns into like 90 seconds, it's like
that's Ticketmaster territory.
Yeah, then it's like, your internet connection isn't great. You're excluded. That doesn't seem like we're not there yet, but we're not that far. Yeah, 300.
I could see them going to 15 blogs next year too.
The SPFBO Discord specifically, is that author like
SPFBO Discord is everybody.
Okay.
There's different roles within it for different people.
There's so many. I know the one that we were in, I thought was populated more by authors, but I don't know if it was exclusive to authors. I think other people could join. I don't know.
There's judges in there too. Yeah,
there's judges in there too, and they have different roles. There's like an author chat room.
Oh, okay. Is that the one that Allegra started, right?
It's called SPFBO.
Correct.
Yeah. I thought it was only authors.
I'm sorry.
Let me see if I can get that right now into.
Sorry, I think I'm confusing.
All right, I'm going to put the link into the description below here.
And Sarah, the other Discord that we're getting info of entrance is Mark's Patreon Discord. So that one is not public. But you can join if you join his Patreon.
Yeah. 300. I will say to anyone entered, you get a lot of promotional push just from being on the list of 300, to be honest. People look at that page, they look at the books, they look at the covers. There are lots of people who I got my book into their hands because they saw me on the list. And they were like, oh, I've never heard of this before. What is this? And somehow, one way or another, on Twitter. And these are people not judges. So it's a huge promotional opportunity just to be in the contest, even if it crushes your heart in the end, as I can attest to.
Yep. Andy even cut his hair and shaved.
She shaved. I did not.
It's springtime. They make me.
Andy, how do you fit this into your work schedule? You've got 7 hours of work, 4 hours of writing, and 5 hours of family. Are we cutting into family? Are we cutting into work?
Oh,
writing?
we're cutting into work.
Okay.
Screw work.
Yeah, I'm kind of like the same. I'm fortunate enough to work from home. Yeah. But I mean, my computer's here.
Yeah. Turns out we're already on it. I'm lucky that my boss is very, very forgiving.
Andy, do you have the YouTube tab open?
No. Somebody's.
Yeah, there's some echo somewhere.
Sorry.
Did you sign up, Andy? Did you submit?
Sign up for what? I just got a link. What happened? I just woke up.
Did you sign up for reading this amazing Mark Lawrence book?
You mean the Mark Lawrence
I'm sorry, I'm not going to
book
stop.
to premiere at number 15 on the New York Times bestseller list?
Yes, and it's absolutely well deserved. I was just telling everyone how this is basically a Christopher Nolan movie put into a novel. It's spectacular.
I'll add it to the TBR.
Add it to like the now TBR, the next book I have to read now, or
Now.
maybe if you don't want to spoil the rest of your year of reading because nothing's going to be as good as this, then maybe push a little forward.
On it. I will make it happen. Is it epic?
No, it's not like it's not like super epic fantasy with battles and stuff. It's very character driven. It has a beautiful ending that's also kind of gut wrenching.
That's a good start.
It's a story that takes a little time to put all the pieces into place, but then there's this kind of like mind-blowing concept. It's very Christopher Nolan like, kind of like, I can't say which movie because that would be kind of a spoiler, but it is very similar to one of the concepts that Christopher Nolan uses in one of his movies, and I love it.
Okay.
One of his. Now I'm trying to guess.
Inception.
That's what I was going to guess was Inception. Yeah.
It's not Inception. It's not Inception.
Wait, let's keep guessing movies.
The Dark Knight.
I'm not going to tell you.
Is it
pulling up Christopher Nolan's filmography? Just going to go roll one by one.
I see he made a short film in middle school. Was it that one?
Yeah, you got it. It's just wow.
Oh, I hope it's not Tenet.
No, it's not Tenet. It's not Tenet.
Is it the Borges library where every possible book is in there on a shelf somewhere? From where
it does have some of that, yeah. It's a very big library that has kind of like a lot of knowledge, and not all the knowledge like ever. And this is one of the concepts that the book kind of deals with. Is how dangerous is it to have all that stored in one place? And who can use it? Who can't?
But it's not Library of Alexandria at the end. It's just.
I mean, I can't say a lot more without spoilers. So
it's the book that wouldn't burn.
Yeah. What I'll say is this: it's not like the super epic fantasy, armies clashing against each other, because that's Mark Lawrence never does that. Mark Lawrence is always a lot more character driven. So, yeah, and the characters are really well done, and then there's kind of like a twist at like 70% or something that's just spectacular. It's mind blowing. I'm gonna stop.
And I know he rated it like a 1.3 on the Grimdark scale.
It's not Grimdark at all.
Out of 5. No.
Yeah.
There's a good question in comments.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Catherine.
What do they do about so presumably someone could have entered in the first 300 spots with like a book that's not eligible that they'll figure out in a couple hours. So what does he do? Does he leave it open and just collect like whatever number of entries and then figure out the cutoff later?
Yeah,
Okay, so someone
exactly.
could theoretically submit, and it seems fine, and they're actually the 307th. Okay, I mean that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad way to go.
He
I
doesn't.
feel like there was like 5 that moved in from standby.
Yeah.
Mm.
He doesn't close them. He leaves them open, and then however many need to be kind of like replaced, because every year there are ineligible books that get submitted every year.
Okay.
And
Like
so,
people who submitted in previous years, that sort of thing.
yeah,
I didn't even think of trying that. Maybe they won't notice.
Mm-hmm.
I have a new
Yeah.
strategy for next year.
Space Face actually allows that on some level, or they sometimes do. Like for this year, they said if you got eliminated early last year, you could resubmit. But they made a specific announcement saying that it wasn't just. I don't think it was part of the original thing, but they also had a hard time filling their 300 slots. If any of you have science
Sure.
fantasy there, you can look forward to Space Face this year, and Space Fic or Choose Your Val.
And look out for my new book, The Betrayers We Be. Coming out 2023, 2024.
Well,
so
we
if
did it,
anyone
guys.
has any questions or anxieties, you can feel
Yes.
free to ask us.
No anxiety.
Yeah, you can ask here in the comments. What's everybody's call signs on Twitter, so everybody here can follow you too. Tori.
Sorry. At Tori Talks 2.
Okay. Number
So
2.
my name and just add a 2 at the end.
Sweet. Michael.
Oh, okay. Mike S. Roberti, and you guys can call me Mike. I put Michael on the front of my book, but like nobody calls me that, so like it's always kind of weird when people call me Michael, because that's like my family, and it's like I'm related to all these people on Twitter now.
Michael.
Yeah, just like I'm getting in trouble.
Right. You got to publish your
Yep.
middle name so we can make you feel terrified in malls.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll do that.
How about you, Chego?
That's T Abdallah, ABDALLA, because I foolishly did not put my name here. I was too excited.
What are you gonna do? Joe.
Dewy-eyed with love.
I'm Matt Joe
I
Burns.
just
No one calls me JCM either. In real life, I always find it weird. Or then when people call me Joe, I'm like, "How did you know?" I'm like, it's okay. And I put it on the screen. I guess I'm not good at hiding.
Cool. And Andy. AR
Oh,
with him.
that's actually the Twitter handle. It really works out well,
Great.
easily for everybody.
Yep. And I'm at Andrew DMTH on every platform. So you can follow me. You know what? You can DM me on Twitter if you want to get into that Discord. I tried to update it, but it won't let me do it while we're live. In the description, I will afterwards. But you can DM me on Twitter, and I'll send you the link to that Discord, so you can get involved. So yeah.
Joe, you look so happy.
Oh, I will be gleaning information from anybody who's in the competition on like what I can't see on Goodreads that you can on your private side, because I'm going to be tracking a lot of things this year, like how many reviews do you have right now currently, and what's your obviously I can see how many reviews you have, but being able to see spikes in your TBR ads on Goodreads, I'm going to be trying to track a lot of that this year, and seeing how much the effect of a blog drop when a blog drops your review and puts it up, that if it has an effect on spikes, just because I'm very interested in that.
Andy said that Joe looks so happy. I totally understand you, Joe. It's like just the relaxed sensation of not having to submit anything this year. It's just so
Yeah.
good.
Wait a second. Was it stressful?
No, just a bit. Just, I mean,
Well, I can.
Especially, I mean, like, no, go ahead.
Submitting wasn't stressful. I found like July stressful when the reviews
Yeah.
started coming in and people started getting cut, and I started
Yeah.
hearing like, "Oh, you might, Judge liked your book," and that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough. June wasn't rough.
And
July
stalking
It was stressful for
Goodreads
me
to see
because
if-
I was a new author.
Got it.
I had a stress dream the other night. I think I told Andrew about where they're grading books A through F, and I got a O.
Yeah,
Like not on
that sounds
scale,
good.
like just a straight up O. And I was like, man, as a teacher, that hurts, you know.
outstanding, man. It's outstanding.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just one resource for people in the contest is Zach Argyle. Most years puts up a really, really good page. If you're going to sit there and refresh continuously, Mark Lawrence sometimes I don't know, it takes him a little longer to get to things, which is fine. But Zach Argyle will put up a page with all the covers, and like as people get eliminated, they gray out and stuff, and it's something you can check 7 times a day if you want to.
And Zach is pretty fast about it.
Yeah. So it's the quickest way to get information in the middle of the contest.
And you can start looking. So when you go to his website, which is zachargyle.com, go to the hamburger drop down, and he's got the last 3 years, SPFBO 6, 7, and 8 up. And then you can kind of see, who were in those years, and your names, and did SPFBO help it? Because, like I was saying earlier, get involved. I'm not convinced that if you are completely uninvolved, that it won't. Well, the fact is, it will hurt. It will hurt your writing career if you're not involved in the community. Because if you're out of sight, out of mind, you're out of sight, out of mind. So be involved, be part of the community, be professional, be a normal human being on Twitter, and make a name for yourself. Have sure people know who you are and get involved with you in communication.
So yeah, I think just to piggyback off that, and checking a few comments here. Alice, I get that it's terrifying, and you feel like you're basing your entire career off this. I'll just give you my experience. I was published for like 2 months before I entered SPFBO because I'd published it in March, and I felt the same way. But I know a ton of other people who were also like recently published and are doing very, very well for themselves, even like not having made finals or semifinals. Like Trials of Ashmount by John Palladino is a good example. He's doing very well for himself because John kind of interacted with everyone. We talked about strategy, pricing, marketing, all that, and that's what we talk about when you say interact with people, join Discords, talk to people on Twitter, learn from what other people are doing. It doesn't have to be necessarily someone doing something better or worse. It's just like a lot of different ways of doing it. So if you kind of like compile all of that, you'll find other paths that can work for you. So don't feel like you have to do well in this competition. It's an incredible competition. It's an incredible kind of like boost. But as Joe said, just being in the competition is already a very, very big visibility boost for you. And I read Joe's book, for example, and to me, it's finalist worthy.
Agreed.
I am not saying that just like out of nowhere. I read a few other finalists, and I enjoyed Joe's book as much, if not more, than a few other finalists that I read. So,
I agree with that.
Palmer said a little earlier, there's a lot of luck of the draw. It can be just like a very, very tiny detail that pushes you forward to the next step or not. So, yeah, it's stressful. We're all like joking around here, but it's all positive. You're not losing anything in this competition. So
almost no one's going to not read your book, even if you get eliminated in the very first round, right? Someone may look at it and go, "Oh, I will pick that up," and you'd certainly get more people doing that if you're a finalist than if you're not, right? Sure, but it's not gonna be like, "Oh, we didn't even make it out of the first round of SPFBO. I'm not trying that book." That almost never happens. So you really don't have much to lose as long as you leverage what you've got. What you've got is you've got your book in front of a lot of people's eyes, because for the next week, a ton of bloggers and booktubers are going to be looking at this list of 300. They're going to look at it over and over again on Zach Argyle's page, which means your cover is in eyeballs every day for a month. You need to leverage that. You need to be on Twitter. You need to be, hey, anyone want a review copy? You know, someone will say, this looks interesting, and they'll tweet it. You need to notice that and say, oh, would you like a review copy? I'd be happy to send you a physical copy or the audio. Which do you prefer? What's your address? What country? Start working that exposure. And if you were, and it may sound overwhelming, and if you miss one, you miss one, right? But you work those units of exposure, and then you build on that, and then someone does a video, and you may get a video like mine where I got, it's up to these two, and Joe's book lost, right? But that video got me on the TBR of other people who've got 10,000 subscribers. So like, did I lose? I don't know,
No, I mean, you lose nothing because your book is being put out there. Even when a book is cut, people talk about that book. It's like there's no bad press, right? Because if your book is cut, people are talking about that book anyway. So people might look into that and say, okay, I'll maybe try this. And people wouldn't even know your book existed if not for that. So that's what I'm saying. Even if you're in like the 300, you're already, ahead of someone who's not in those 300. So.
And most of the judges, if they cut you, they'll say something like, this book was a little too grim for me, but if you like that, you'll love this book. And then that'll make people read it, right? Or maybe not, grim's not the thing for your book, but something like that. Right? So you'll get a lot, even if you're cut, you'll get a lot of, every judge I've seen will say what your book is good at and good for.
Yes, Tree Buddy. They are randomly dispersed
to some degree, but the judges can also they also put in to say, hey, I have a conflict of interest because I personally know this author or something like that. So that does happen where they'll kind of have a chat to see if anybody has books that they can't read because of a conflict of interest or whatever.
I still remember the feeling of looking at the blogs and just praying that I didn't fall with someone that I knew, other authors to compete. It's like, oh, please don't, or be with against one of the big dogs.
Rob J. Hayes, right? Like, who wants to be in the semifinalist back with him?
Hey, just fire extinguisher on your Panic HC. You said you accidentally submitted the wrong cover file. Don't sweat it. Just you can contact Mark Lawrence. He mentions, don't contact the blogs, contact me. Just contact him and let him know that, and then so it can be adjusted. Don't sweat it it's gonna ruin your chances of winning. It's fine. It's all good. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Mark is pretty understanding. He's not gonna be like, oh no, you go to the end of the line now because
you are bad.
Unless you buy the book.
If you submit the EPUB twice, maybe they'll have to read it twice, and they'll like it more the second time.
Yeah, you'll get submitted to 2 blogs.
There you go. Cheat codes.
Yeah, that's the. I actually submitted 10 times, and the blog that liked my book the most is the one that picked me as a finalist. That's how you get picked as a finalist.
There you go.
Okay, who's got the earliest entry form completion time? I've got 2 minutes after the hour.
It wasn't me. Could have been Tori or Michael. They were pretty fast.
I was gonna say, but we were pretty.
Yes, it's probably. I mean, I was gonna say Tori probably because I think she had said that she was done as soon as I had already done it, but I was just in a zone of typing. Nothing else mattered.
So the question is, how long before SPFBO becomes this thing that's getting concert tickets? You know, where it's just like, oh, it's open for 30 seconds.
I think it's now. Look, Quinn's saying here, Mark just posted there are only 10 spots
wow.
left, and we're 35
7.
minutes in.
36 minutes.
Yeah,
We're down to 7 now.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
God bless Mark Lawrence.
Next year's going to be rough, and I'm entering next year. That's not cool.
This is all I have to say.
Chiago's in love.
I mean, look, how many authors do you know that had a solid trad career, did not have to do anything, and just started the most amazing competition for self-published authors that there is? I mean, you don't even need to like the guy's books. He's just like an amazing person for having done that and for keeping it going for 10 years.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is the longevity of it.
Yeah.
The kind of commitment to it over and over and over again, where it becomes it becomes this thing that's filled up in 36 minutes.
Yeah.
300 spots gone.
Yeah. I was hoping to publish, like, have a new series ready for SPFBO 11 probably, but I'm gonna have to like do it in the first 2 minutes if it's gonna be like this. Yeah.
Have you used AI to enter this contest?
That's where you got to do the high frequency trading stuff, where we all move to houses that are close to Mark, or we all book like Airbnb like around the corner from him.
Yep.
So that we're like nanoseconds closer through the internet.
I'm gonna print out my entry form and camp in front of his house, and then when it opens, I'm just gonna shove it through the door.
8
I
o'clock.
just picture signing up and accidentally getting Taylor Swift tickets and just like, what just happened? Like somehow I'm at like not an SPFB, whatever. I can't ever do the acronym, but I'm just like watching Taylor Swift and it's like, okay, well, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
3 left.
Seriously?
Really?
Jeez.
Yep.
Next year's gonna be rough.
So I've read the stuff that happens on the blog, on the official sign up, but like you guys have been through it. What's the first month? Is it just the first month is just kind of bandying about, I got this book.
So for the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of hype train as we're waiting for June 1st. So usually I think even before June 1st is the cover contest. And all the blogs they pick their favorite. I forget how many. I don't think it's one. I think it's like 2 or 3 of their favorites. And then it kind of goes to the whole community and it becomes a popularity contest on favorite cover.
Okay.
But really the whole point of that is to hype up the artists, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then, you just keep waiting for reviews.
That hypes up the books. I mean, that helps the books too. People.
Yeah.
Enough people will read a book. That cover looks cool. I'm going to read that.
Oh yeah, lots and lots.
Yeah.
And I'll say, as a past SPFBO entrant, I saw an uptick in sales yesterday, and I'm probably expecting a little bit today because I think people, the renewed interest every year kind of has people looking back at past entrants. So, that's something that sticks with you forever, I guess. So that's really cool as well.
God bless Mark Lawrence.
There is also a Facebook group I wanted to point out, and you can DM. I'll try to put that into the links here too. The Facebook group is also very active. It can be iffy on how fast a particular blog posts something on there, and sometimes they get buried if several blogs post on the same day. It'll get buried, but we're all obsessed about our own blogs anyway. So if you're on the Discord, you can post. We'll do a lot of posting of, hey, just saw that so and so dropped a blog and with six mentions, and then when someone gets cut, we'll all drop emojis for pouring one out for the fallen. Same on the Facebook group. So you'll have, Cassidy will post there and say, "Hey, I got a video up, and it's got who's in it," and then we all get to panic about whether our book is involved in that or not. But get involved in the Facebook group too and watch that, because that is where Mark Lawrence is most active for the competition.
I think
and
so,
he'll post any new information there.
And if you need to like get in touch with Mark for some reason, I think the Facebook is the Facebook group is the best place.
There's only 2 spots left. That's so crazy.
I almost want to submit something just to say I got the last spot, then because it's not eligible. Like,
don't you just imagine like a whole bunch of people? Turns out artists are a little flaky, and they didn't get up on time, or it's whatever. You're in California, and I needed to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I have an EPUB ready to go with a cover I made myself on Canva. I could totally get it in there.
I know there was one
full.
submitter in Hawaii, and he was where he said it's going to be 3 a.m. his time.
Yeah.
But if you're on the verge of submitting, don't quit just because it's full. Remember, as people have informed us, some of the submissions are going to get bumped. So some of the people on the post 300 list are going to get into the contest.
Yeah.
So don't just say, "Oh, it's full," and quit. You might be lucky. Jeez, 42 minutes.
If this happened last year, I would have been out of the competition because I woke up late. Missed my alarm.
Did you had that moment where you're just panic?
Yeah, I had my alarm I think it was 7 a.m. my time, because it was when the competition opened or something.
Yeah. And
I missed the alarm. Like myself, it was on my phone and it didn't ring or something. And then I woke up at 10:30 or something. I was like, oh my God. And yeah.
It's full in 41 minutes.
Yeah.
So 300 entries.
I knew it was going to be this fast. I said 90 minutes, so I was way off.
I think I said 3 hours or 5 hours.
Yep.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
That was crazy.
Congratulations, everyone who made it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And good luck.
Let the pain begin.
Well, I know Tori was talking about going back to bed.
Oh yeah, I'm going back to bed. Are you kidding? But I was just gonna say I'm kind of waiting for the. I'm curious to see what part of the process I get anxious about, because right now, I'm just here for the ride. I'm excited to see what happens. I have zero anxiety right now.
And and we keep saying, contact us too. For those of us who have been in the game for so long, 1 year for me, if you're feeling panicked, chances are we're not, because we'll be panicked at other times and we'll need to lean on you. So reach out to us if you're feeling panicked and you're like, oh, it's June 2nd and they still haven't reviewed my book. It's okay. That's all we're here for as a community, is to lean on each other. So feel free to reach out to us, and we'll keep you down off of your limb, and that's what we're all here for.
Yeah.
So Steve, when you're on YouTube for reacting to other people's things, you can either just @ them. If you're on your phone, it's a lot harder. You just @ and it's not going to actually ping them. But if you're on browser, you can click on or hover over, I think it is, and react to somebody. And a good thing to get used to, because you're going to be in lots of interviews, I'm sure, because that's one of the best parts of getting involved in the community, is being on each other's channels.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying my entire Twitter feed is people saying they submitted to SPFBO. Like everyone.
Awesome.
There's Tori.
It is literally everyone I know is posting the exact same. I submitted. It's like at least, I don't know, 10 people, and then it's the first non-thing, which is like Mike, who's not an author. Mike from Mike's book reviews, and then it starts again.
41 minutes.
Crazy. Well, good luck, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you, and good luck to you next year. Good luck getting in, I should say.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think I'll have something ready for next year. Maybe the other year. I don't know.
I will.
We'll see.
I will too.
Oh no, I don't want to be in next year. Then I don't want to be with you guys.
That's the one I'm like, I'm gonna be a basket case next year.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Is Sarah doing your cover?
Yeah.
Okay, she's
yeah.
gonna be in there twice
Yeah.
at least.
Yep. So
That's kinda
she's
cool.
It was so. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm just going to brag for a second. So my best friend, Sarah Ferrari, Sparrow Springs on Twitter, who's an incredible artist. We've been best friends since we were 13, and getting to put her name in the cover artist spot on that form just gave me all sorts of warm, fuzzy feelings. So I'm very excited to have the cover in the contest almost as much as I'm excited to have the book in. So it's going to be awesome.
I'm seriously considering if I'm ever gonna submit to SPFBO again, or if I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead, because I have the finalists. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna submit and then be cut.
What? Yeah. Do you need to win more, or do you need to not like slide down more? Like, which is going to have more emotional damage or more emotional?
Yeah,
pain?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just kidding. You've
been a finalist. It's pretty good. Are you
yeah.
hungry for a victory, or is it just like, no, that's fine?
No, I mean, I told Andrew this, so he knows I'm not lying. But when I submitted, I told him I would be like, being a finalist was like winning the competition for me, because it was like my debut novel. I think the press I'd get of being a finalist would be amazing. So obviously not to take away from winning the competition, but I just told him, if I'm a finalist, that's I'm gonna consider that like I'm gonna be as happy as if I kind of won the competition. So yeah. So I was pretty happy with that. And
that really is true.
Yeah. I have the receipts.
That really is true. It's great to win this competition, but really just being a finalist puts you in the pantheon of the year, basically, because you're going to be on a lot of interviews with a couple of cons, and just the fact that you were picked as the 10 best of this year just means a whole lot.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so I was just pretty happy. And I mean, future series, it has to be the first book in the series, right? So my next eligible book will probably be SPFBO11. I'll obviously submit, because there's nothing bad that can happen with submitting. It doesn't matter. Like we said, it doesn't matter when you're cut. So, but I mean, that's like 2 years from now, so we'll see.
And everyone who's in, you are at least a quarter finalist.
Yeah.
They never sent me my little badge for that, but I'm waiting. I'm sure it could come.
We'll make you one.
Yeah.
That's
the thing that annoyed me about SpaceFic, is that it actually had official quarterfinalists. So then if you didn't actually make it out of that first cut, you weren't even a quarter. I'm like, oh, it's not fair. They should have, but whatever. Then there's no word for the level below. There's no word for 8th finalist, I guess. Octa-finalist? I don't know.
There is a word in Portuguese, so
contender, participant
in Portuguese,
runner up, quarterfinalist, runner up.
So,
but I just think you got so unlucky, Joe. Man,
also
honestly,
Ram.
Wistful was so good that easily could have been a finalist, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been saying that since I read it, and I'm not like saying that to be nice to you, Joe. I really love it.
It's a really good book.
I'm not really upset. It's just like a running joke with me now. So you don't have to.
I know.
I really appreciate it.
But. So for us newbies, will we find out when will we find out which blog got our book?
Later today, probably.
Later today, so it's that fast. Okay,
probably
cool.
today. Yeah. Given how
Leo.
fast it filled, and I bet there's a whole lot of, I don't know what Mark's process is for figuring out if anybody is not eligible, but we'll see. I mean, it should be later today. Worst case, tomorrow morning, probably.
Mhm.
And that may not be blog assignments yet. It may just be the names of who are in, and then from there it'll go from there. And even in the first week, I think there was somebody who they realized was ineligible like a week later, and they pulled another person in. But don't worry about it.
They shifted things.
That's the judge stuff.
I think ours was like 9 hours, so it was like end of the day. I remember seeing the
Right.
blogs because it's already full. I think it won't be that long because it's just like spread them out. Then because Mark does post like the initial list saying this can still change because of conflict of interest and all that, but he kind of like posts it so people aren't anxiously. I think he must be flooded with with messages like when we'll see it. And, yeah.
The next step though is a lot of the blogs will have like their 30, and then many of, not all, but many will divide those up among their team of 5 or 6. So each person, typically with Space works differently. I don't know why, but typically with SPFBO, 5 or 6 judges will each read 5 or 6 entire books, pick a semifinalist. Like I know that's how Bookborn did it, right? So she had 5 like accomplices. Each one read 5 or 6 books, picked one semifinalist, then she picked the finalist from that pool. Because other than Becky, no one else has wanted to commit to reading 30 whole books. I think she was the only one who did that. She did it. She's amazing.
That's incredible.
They're all amazing. But so that may take a few more days because that's not part of the official process, right? That's sort of informally done among the teams. So you'll get you may not have your judge. You probably won't have your judge today.
But we'll know what blog that the book landed in.
So you'll know the pool, and then the I forget how long it took them last time, but none of them took very long because they want to they're I'm sure under pressure from people like us, like where am I? What's going on? Annoying them but that's the next step is to find who your judge is and then start stalking them on Discord. Don't do that.
No, not sending presents to their house at all.
Don't stalk them, but you can subscribe to their YouTube channel and make sure to watch every single video. Am I getting a hint? That's fun.
And there's always like I remember when I submitted, there's always like, oh man, I think this blog would like my book, or I think this blog would hate my book, and it's like, oh, this or that one. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's just like it's so subjective. Like and I can say that being a finalist, like people I thought my book would do well with didn't do well, and people I thought my book wouldn't do well with did well. So it's like
if you want to prove it, look, you can tell roughly how successful a book is in terms of sales and popularity. Go to Amazon and check the number of ratings, right? That's roughly 1/10 their sales, very roughly. Okay, but if you can go and find semifinalists that have like 12, and you can find people who are cut who have like hundreds, and you can say, well, clearly this isn't the be all and end all of anyone's book career.
Yeah, exactly. And
this is public information, right? You don't have to have. That's not secret stuff. You've got it. Just very easy.
Yeah.
There's no Illuminati behind the scenes controlling everything.
Well, I think people sometimes authors are like, how do I
there might be
successful, and I'm like, you can actually kind of tell. You roughly tell. You can get a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Very public information, and like I mean, I didn't figure that out for years, but now whenever I'm feeling like nastily competitive, I'm kidding.
So for what it's worth, the entry form for SPFBO9 is still open. You can still click on the here.
Mark specifically tweeted what we were saying.
Keep on going.
Yeah,
okay.
It's going to stay open for a little while so there are ones to fill in slots.
I'm lucky
because
today's
he knows.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just gonna say he knows that there are always, people who
A
need to
few.
be kicked out. Yeah.
Right. A whole bunch.
Go ahead, Andy.
Looks like Troy Knowlton just got in inside the window. He just told
Come
me
on, Troy, get in there.
Set it up too.
Nice.
Oh, I'm just lucky because the entry day for SPFBO is the 1-year anniversary of Blackjack's release. So that's got to be lucky, right?
Yeah.
Just like a little extra bonus points there. Do a little birthday cake.
You weren't
Yeah.
in 8? I thought you were in 8.
So is today? Is today?
Today's the day, 17th.
Oh, happy book birthday!
Kids,
Wow.
I'm gonna have to shout on Twitter a little later.
No. Today's SPFBO day. I can't do the letters either.
I'll do both. I'll do both because you submitted. So.
Oh yeah, Spiffle's going to take over for my "Who is your author booktuber crush" poll. No one's going to pay attention to that anymore. So sad. Andrew, you just got to vote. Andrew Meredith.
Oh man.
Well, his will be easy. His wife has a channel.
He's not even awake yet.
He's someone else's crush, is what I meant.
Oh.
It was Tiago, wasn't it?
No, I didn't. I'm not even like scrolling Twitter.
It was the wizard.
Okay. Thanks.
That surprises
That'll
me
make sense.
zero. Yeah.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So the other reason they say, be a normal Twitter is because trad is watching us. Blogs are watching us. Everybody's watching us, and the indie publishing industry, we have an opportunity to kind of reach across the aisle and be a better person for everybody. To invite anybody, doesn't matter, agents, publishers. We're basically, they talk about the big 5, which I think is down to like the big 2 for trad. We're the 6th. That's what it is. We're the mass of entrepreneurs that make up a whole nother sector of the industry. And so just be a good person and a good author online so that trad sees you and knows who you are. It doesn't mean they're going to make you an offer necessarily, but just being a good person also puts you in position to go to conventions and be on panels because you're a known entity. And so it never hurts to just, to be involved.
I feel like trad has to stock indie. I mean, there's so many opportunities for trad just waiting to happen at this point, because I mean, the market is doing half of their job for them. It's like, okay, this works. Why? Okay, this works. Why? And then you start having those conversations and you get a Travis Baldry out of it. Right. And it's like, okay, this works.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, they're starting like these hybrid kind of online publishing houses like Orbit Works, and Tor is doing that as well, to get a bite out of the indie market, right? Because they do exactly what we do as indie authors. They publish it digitally, and they have the book set up on Ingram Spark, so people can order it on demand online, but they do nothing to kind of get it into bookstores. But they pay you more royalties. So I'm still not sure how well, if it's worth it or not for us as indie authors. To me, it all depends on the amount of marketing that the publisher is going to do to push you.
The question is whether like the Murphy Napiers of the world will pick up an Orbit Works book.
Yeah.
Where I'm not saying her specifically, but people in that sort of echelon of booktube are typically not reading even SPFBO finalists and winners. Maybe now that's good. They're going to start. It's going to creep in, but are they going to be looking at the Orbit Works like release list and picking stuff off there or not?
I mean,
it's kind of
it's
answer.
it's kind of nice because I think everything's so intertwined now. Like you see Murphy is now doing quite a few collabs with like Philip Chase, and he's a judge in SPFBO this year.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like, I mean, everything in the community is so intertwined at this point that you never know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 6 months from now, or a year from now, or this year, like the Murphy Napiers of the world, were reading more indie books. I wouldn't be surprised at that
Yeah,
hasn't been the case in the past.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. A lot of big booktubers have stayed away from indie in the past because
A lot of it's
and
crap.
I no, yeah, but it's more that they say, you know, I don't want to be the person to wreck an indie author's career because they don't have the power of a publishing house behind them. So if I say the book isn't good, you know, I'm scared that people aren't going to buy that book because of my opinion. And I totally get that. I mean, it must be a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But slowly we're seeing a lot of people pick up more indie. And like if they don't want to wreck someone's career, they probably just don't review it. But I think you know the door has been opened. Like Mike is one who's picking up a lot of indie this year.
Mike's started.
Yeah, and you know Alan has started to pick up more indie books. Philip Chase has started picking up more indie books. So you know it's slowly spreading.
Philip backed himself in a corner there. He has to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he decided to go indie with his books. So.
Yeah, it's like... All right, I gotta go to work. Thank you so much, guys. Good luck to everyone on the contest.
See ya.
Love
Yeah,
you,
See ya,
Joe.
Joe.
I'll
See ya.
be dropping up soon. See you, Joe.
I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, it's time to counteract that coffee with some melatonin. We'll see who wins. Thank you for hosting this, Andrew. That's really sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
All right, bye, con queso. Good luck.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Andrew. Man. You're on mute.
You're muted.
You're muted, Andrew.
Oh no.
Did he freeze?
Yeah,
Oh, there he
he's
is.
back.
Sarah, why are you telling me to do writing sprints? I'm not doing writing sprints right now. Later today,
It's
maybe.
too early.
I would not write anything coherent right now.
Try saying something, Andrew. No, still nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. Andrew's down.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna head out too, guys. It was a pleasure. Good luck, Tori. Good luck, Andrew.
Yeah, good
I
luck,
gotta
guys.
get that book, the book that would not burn. I'm excited about it. Do you know if the
Please
audiobook
do.
is out?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh, okay. Because like right now, my only reading time is my commute to work, so that might be my next pickup. Thank you, dude. All right, I'll see y'all.
Yeah. See you guys.
I'm gonna,
Bye. Well, Andrew, I don't know if you're back or not. I'm gonna try and focus a bit on work here as well.
sounds good. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you
Tori.
for joining us.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. He left it live. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Congratulations to everybody that got in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, I don't know.
Takeover, channel takeover.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Sorry, my mic went out. Don't know what happened, but whatever. Yeah, good luck, everybody. And yeah, let's hype train this all day long.
Yep, I will be very active on Twitter today and after I take my nap. Yep.
All right, everybody.
See you guys.
SPFBO9, let's go.
Woo!
See ya.